Hi everyone, I'm Chase, co-founder at TalkValue, revenue intelligence systems for conferences and exhibitions. At TalkValue, we help conference and show owners run their events themselves, but better, or we bring in our team to help you deliver. What this means is we have an AI toolkit, a group of different self-serve apps for different purposes that you can choose to plug and play, not necessarily replacing whatever you have. And we have a team of experts who successfully delivered over 200 events in the last 2.5 years, not only in the US, but also in Japan, Hong Kong, and Korea, whom you can consult and work with if you like. And speaking of credentials, we are a VC company as well. Now, moving forward to today's demo, I'd like to introduce Path, an audience intelligence layer, and our customer who built a success together using Path. Imagine your next big event is only 3 months away. Your mind wanders off to event marketing and you feel lost. How do we move the needle? You got the data, years of it, but it's across different platforms and in different formats too. Do we run ads or do we re-engage with past attendees? You just don't know. This is exactly where Path swoops in and provides actionable insights so you take the right path with clarity and impact. To be specific, it does two things really well. One, a reality check. Import CSV files from your events, registration data, your contacts on HubSpot, Slack, any kind of CSV files work. Then you see within a minute a full overview of your audience landscape. And the amazing thing is, our AI will tell you how to read the charts too. Two, your thinking partner. To be honest, GPT and Gemini fall short since they lack domain knowledge. Based on the data that you provide, Path will strategize with you and recommend ways to automate the action items too. Again, I will have to repeat this because this is really important. At TalkValue, we service our products to help event owners run their events better on their own, or we bring in our team to work with you. Today, our demo one of our apps, Path, an audience intelligence layer, and show you how we use that to deliver the success for our client. Average purchasing value increased 30% attributed to the marketing campaign that we executed after talking to Pat. How do we know this? Because the APV of the targeted cohorts reached $520, significantly driving the total APV increase. Additionally, conversion rate and total generated sales are great success indicators, but we'll get back to that later on. So yes, Path is built from experience, but let's fast backward to 2025 Feb. Our client was struggling, wanting to sell more tickets and thought they needed more newcomers. It was a gut feeling, so we wanted to check a quick reality check. We collected 5 years worth of registration data from Whova. We even exported contact lists from Slack, community newsletter subscriptions that we had on HubSpot, and LinkedIn followers too, all from different platforms and different formats into one path. I'll now move on to a live demo to show you how from importing works to just showing you analytics and strategizing with our AI. So clicking here, we'll move on to our path. From here, we can import data. By clicking here, select file, we'll go to find that one, something from HubSpot. That's going to be a list of mock data so that we are safe with any personal information here. And we are going to simply map the fields that we'd like to save onto our path here. So we're going to skip everything else. For example, record ID, we're going to skip that one. We are going to map the first name, map the last name, and map the email too, and the phone number as well. Anything else, we're gonna leave it as it is, except for the company name that we can see here. And then the address, maybe, we're gonna keep that one to just save the cities of the people there. And last but not least, we are going to save that one and mark that as a HubSpot because we are saving the contact list that we have of our subscribers on our HubSpot. And clicking that, we'll click on continue. And then now we're just making sure that the fields are well mapped And if everything looks good, we can click on Start Import. It is completed because we only have 19 rows there. If it's more than 100, maybe it may take a second. And during that process, feel free to move on to other pages and resume the work that you were doing right before then. And what you can see right after that is going to audience. You can see right ahead that how many of an overlap that you have across different marketing channels that you are hands-on working on right now. So for example, we had LinkedIn, HubSpot, and Slack. I just added a very few amount of people on Slack as well. But we can easily see that surprisingly, we have a very few overlap across different marketing channels, which could mean a good thing and a bad thing. But in this case, we'd like to dive further into how that impacted registration trend and how that attribution looks like when it comes to ticket purchasing. Now we're going to move on from looking at the overlaps across different marketing channels to the real registration trend that we had in the past 5 years. So clicking on the registration trend, you can now see that where we are standing at when it comes to event marketing and the audience and real conversions. So remember our client was telling us that they really want to focus on the net new customers in order to grow the size of the event. Now we can see that in the 5 years, we have seen great dependency on the net new customers rather than the returning, which means we ask AI, the great thing about our audience intelligence layer path is that you don't have to go through the charts and tables and numbers. You can just simply import CSV files, and then visually you will have the graphics, but you'll talk to path and then now understand better the situation and standpoint and maybe some implications that you would have overlooked otherwise, and of course have an outlook that are proposed from our path. So here we're looking at the situation where we are structurally dependent on the net new customers. That's what it's saying. And the net new has averaged around 80% of registrations across all mature editions. By mature editions, it means that it has included the recent event, which is going to happen in 2026. So other than that, let's see what other implications that we have here. So the stable base is a loyal returning segment that has held between 63 to 152 attendees. I think the decrease here is because of 2026 one. Excluding that, we will be at around, let's see, from 123 to 152, a very stable base recurring every year. This is actually telling us that the volatile driver is not the returning, but the net new acquisition, and that's where it's softening. The rising returning rate in 2026 is not loyalty breakthrough. It's saying that it's a math effect. And what else? The outlook with over 2,500 unique attendees in the historical pool and only 25 returning for this year, there's a dormant audience of 2,000, again, 500 people who attended at least once but haven't re-engaged in 2026. And again, because this has included the 2026 data, I'm just referring to basically a 2025 year event. And it leaves us with different options to go from here. Launch dormant attendee reactivation campaign, so we can strategize with paths together to how to really go about the email campaigns when we are re-engaging with the returning attendees rather than targeting the net new attendees. And B, audit 2026 net new acquisition channels, which we could do, but I feel like the wisest decision here, considering the time restraints that we have, which is about 3 months now, I believe let's just go ahead with the launch dormant attendee reactivation campaign. So here it is. From here on, it's not just about the data, just about the numbers, just about the charts, but it's more about strategizing. So you're really thinking with path here. And the cool thing here is that when it feels like we need more data in order to make a really good decision, it'll ask you to import more data and it'll remember. A lot of the times when you are trying to talk to Gemini or GPT on event data and strategy, The thing about them is that they don't have the domain knowledge. So you'll have some places that you still feel like you have an edge. The thing is, they will not be able to tell what is a single source of truth data for you. That's an easier way to product in the positioning here. So it will naturally identify the single source of truth when it comes to data. And because we have that, strategizing it's going to be exponentially better when you're doing it with Path than GPT or Gemini. So here, let's see what it's telling us. So again, it's just revisiting the situation that we have here, and the diagnosis is the structure problem. And it's just stating that it's not a loyalty problem. I love how it has the marketing sense. It's a reactivation gap. So your returning base has remarkably stable, but net new has been the volatile driver. So you're re-engaging with the dormant pool, but how you're going to do it? We are going to create a blueprint basically. So tier 1 lapsed 1 edition, so the most recent one they skipped it. Tier 2 lapsed 2 or more editions, and tier 3 is only one-time attendees in the past. So that's something that we can definitely do. If you're not satisfied with this proposal, you can always ask for more ideas and ideate from there on. And then we have different channels recommendations here: email, LinkedIn retargeting. This is a great strategy from my point of view, because I feel like email, it's a really great touch base starting point, and then LinkedIn, it's where it gets a little more personal and then engaging the person into the community. So that's something that you can think about. But for last year in 2025, we strictly used email as the primary platform that we are re-engaging with our returning attendees. And we could easily realize that we not want to just activate and launch new campaigns targeting new audience. We wanted to really get back in there, saying hi to the people that we said hi before, and re-engaging the dormant pool. So going back to the strategy before, now we know that we have to target not the new attendees, but the returning attendees. We realized 3 things. I hope you remember that the gut feeling of our client, it was just, we have 3 months left, maybe we should target more newcomers. But basically, strategizing with Path, we learned that maybe it's not the smartest decision to target newcomers with the time restraints. Strategizing with Path, we decided to target returning attendees, but engage them by identifying loyal cohorts, then running personalized email campaigns. So that's what we did for about 3 months, and this is the result. The email campaigns yielded 10% conversion to purchasing the tickets. And the total sales generated by this email campaign, and to be frank, we identified about 200 loyal cohorts and then sent out email campaigns to them only. And that grossed 12K. And this email content is far from being genius. It's a very basic email sequence, and we know that the campaign attributed to the increase in APV because the cohort we targeted has significant increase in their APV, reaching at whopping $520. So Path, however, is not stopping here. Integrations will be the big keyword of what's coming next for Path. Event professionals work with so many different tools, and our mission is not replacing any of them. Our mission is to work with all of them so that we can perform better and impact events. I didn't touch base with marketing channel attribution a lot today. Remember the Slack and overlap across different marketing channels. Because of the time limit that we have, we're looking at a 20-minute cap here. But once integration is there, we'd be able to see a revenue first 360 attribution of marketing, content, and channels, and in real time too. So I'm very excited for the future that we can bring. TalkValue is growing too, but more importantly, we want to grow with you. Our scope of work spans from revenue optimization consulting to community building, website and registration management, customer support. We are your revenue engine, but also an operations engine as well. We talk more about what AI is and how to use AI, how to leverage it so that we do more with less. on our newsletters. As much as we are event tech builders, we are avid users of what's out there, and we'd love to simply chat and exchange experiences, ideas, and information. And looking forward to getting to know all of you at our future gatherings or whatever may come. And I know we have an upcoming Q&A session. I'm very much interested in learning more about your questions and your feedback or comments. I would appreciate it if it's a comment only too. So please keep them coming. So we do have, on one hand, a toolkit, which is a group of self-serviceable apps, including the path that I showcased today. But we do service our clients to produce events as well. So that means from registration handling, website maintenance, but also customer support. Whatever you need, we're gonna be there for you. Oh yeah, of course. So one is very far from AI, actually. It's a very logistics-oriented app, which is a badging app. It's an on-site check-in and a badging app that you can sync with Eventbrite and Luma. What it does is if you have your account on Eventbrite, if you're running an event on Luma, you can sign in using their account on our platform, and then it's going to be syncing the attendee list from whatever platform that you have so that you can check in from different phones. So let's say that you have 100 to 20 different staffs. They all can use our app, and with their phones, they will be scanning Eventbrite QR codes or Luma QR codes, and then they'll be checking in, and that is transmitted to the printer stations. Where the printer will be printing out whatever the staffs from maybe like 100 meters away scans, and then they're going to print the badges out there from there. So that's one of the apps that we have now. Of course. Every product that we build and we service, they are a modular app. So it's not like you have to buy or use a set of different apps. You can pick and choose whatever you like at your situation. Yes, we do that too. And that's the beauty of the products that we have, because the products that we build and service right away as a self-serviceable products, they are very everyone can use it to their benefits, but they have their capabilities. But once there is a client who's more willing to customize the app to their own need, then I feel like that's when it serves the client to the full potential. And that's where our capabilities as a tech company, it really shines. So we would love to learn more about our clients or any of your need when it comes to customizations. We're all for that.